Bernie Sanders offering some praise back in 1985 for the Cuban leader who died Friday. And let's get straight to Senator Sanders, the former Democratic presidential candidate and author of the new book, Our Revolution. Good morning, Senator Sanders. You said back in 1985 that Castro transformed Cuban society and gave them health care and education. But this was a brutal dictatorship, despite the romanticized version that some Americans have of Cuba. He rationed food, imprisoned dissidents. You heard all today Senator Cruz talk about that. So have you changed your view of Castro since 1985? How would you now describe his leadership?
I'm not quite sure, Martha, this is the issue that is on the minds of the American people right now, who basically want to make sure that Donald Trump keeps the promises that he made when he said he was not going to cut Social Security, Medicare,
I know, but I want to go back to your comments, please. We'll get to Donald Trump in a moment. The answer is that
Castro and Cuba, no, of course, their economy is terrible. You're right. It is a dictatorship. They did have a good do have a decent health care system and a decent educational system. A lot of people have left Cuba for better dreams to fulfill their aspirations. So, no, the Cuban economy is a disaster. No, I do not praise Fidel Castro.
Okay, let's move on to the Trump administration.
But it is interesting, it is interesting that we start a program off by talking about what happened, what I said 30 years ago. Right now, where the American people are concerned is, in fact, an economy right now in which we have massive levels of income and wealth inequality. Mr. Trump made some promises to the American people.
Well, let me ask you about that. Senator Sanders, please let me ask questions.
Medicare and Medicaid.
Let me ask some questions about that, and I will also say that people are concerned about Fidel Castro and what happens next. But you've said you'll try to work with President Trump on issues where you agree: infrastructure, entitlements, the minimum wage. Given his cabinet picks and things he has said this week, do you think he can work with them?
Well, we'll see. I'm not impressed by the cabinet picks so far that he has made. Mr. Trump said that he will take on the drug companies. Right now, we pay, as you know, the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. Many Americans cannot afford the medicine that they desperately need. He said that he would support Medicare negotiating prescription drug prices with the pharmaceutical industry and allow for reimportation. Right now, I am 50 miles away from Canada. They pay half of the cost of the price that we pay for prescription drugs. Trump said that he will do something about it. Let's see if he does. Trump said when he was running for president, you heard him say this, I am the only Republican candidate who will not cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Well, you got some people in the Republican Party right now who want to voucherize Medicare, make massive cuts in Medicaid. Will he keep his word? Mr. Trump said that he was against the disastrous trade policies that this country currently has. Well, will you look forward to working with him to save the jobs in Indiana for the carrier workers, to make sure that corporations don't throw American workers out on the street as they go to China and they go to Mexico at very low wages? So if he is serious about protecting working families, yeah, we'll work with him. We will not work with him if he talks about xenophobia, if he talks about racism, sexism. That is not acceptable. In the other area where we will not work with him, I do not believe that climate change is a hoax. I believe the scientific evidence is overwhelming that it is one of the great threats to humanity, and we've got to transform our energy system.
Well, Mr. Trump said that mankind may be causing climate change this week and is open to abiding by the Paris Accord. So is that a new and improved Donald Trump to you?
Well, that is something, but we have got to go further than that. The scientific community is saying that if we do not transform our energy system yesterday, we're going to be looking at more drought, more floods, more extreme weather disturbances. So he has got to listen to the scientific community, not the fossil fuel industry.
I want to talk about this recount that's going to go on. You said right after the election that it's over. Mr. Trump will be the next president, and Democrats must focus on the realities of where we are. So are they wrong to do this recount and question the election's results?
The Democrats, Martha, are not doing the recount. I trust that you know that was initiated by the Green Party, who has every right in the world to do it.
I'm aware of that, but Hillary Clinton has joined in.
Well, of course they've joined it. It's taking a process. We will see what happens. It's a legal right. It's not a big deal. I don't think anybody, Secretary Clinton or anybody else, thinks there's going to be profound changes. We will see what happens. But the focus right now has got to be doing everything that we can to address the real issues facing the working families of this country. Mr. Trump talked about dissolving, doing away with the Affordable Care Act, throwing 20 million Americans off of health insurance. What happens to those people? He talked about the need to make college more affordable. Is he serious about doing that?
What has Trump's victory meant to the Democratic Party? What will transform it? What will change in the Democratic Party? And is it time for Hillary Clinton and the Clintons to just move on?
You know, we don't have to make this personal. Secretary Clinton has served this country for 25 years. She got 2 million more votes than Donald Trump did in the general election. She has a role to play. But the real issue facing, I think, the Democratic Party is to assess where they are, and they're not in a good place. It's not just the White House, it's the Senate, it's the House, it's 2/3 of the governor's chairs. What we need to do, and what I am trying to do, is revitalize the Democratic Party. Bring in the young people, bring in the working people, become less dependent on big money. A lot of campaign contributors, big money people have done a very good job. They've tried to help, but they can't be the dominant force in the Democratic Party. We've got to open the doors. We have got to go to 50 states in this country. Not just, you know, the blue states or battleground states. There is no reason why we cannot win in states all over this country, because we have a message that says at a time of massive income and wealth inequality, when the rich get richer and most other people are getting poorer, we're going to stand with working families. That is a message that will win if we take it to 50 states.
Okay, thanks very much for joining us this morning, Senator Sanders.
Thank you.